Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Brandi. We just watched episode 9 of Happy's Place. We can't say it's a new sitcom anymore since they're on episode 9, but it's one of the sitcoms that's part of NBC's Friday night lineup this year. The episode was entitled Emcee Squared, and it was a pretty good one. Brandi, what did you think overall of the episode?
I liked the episode. I thought it was fun. We had a little competition there. So the anniversary of the bar is coming up, and they have like a comedy bit that they do, and usually it's Happy that does it, but this is the first year Happy's not there. So, my God, why am I blanking on names? But
Bobby and Gabby.
Bobby and Gabby, thank you. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm tired today. Bobby was gonna take it over because it was her dad, so she's gonna do it, and then Gabby's like, I thought I was doing it. I'm funnier, and so a little friendly competition happened.
Yeah.
And it was funny. And then so basically, Gabby was helping Bobby, and Steve was helping. Nope.
No,
Isabella
was helping Bobby.
Isabella was helping Bobby, and Steve was helping Gabby. Ooh, sorry, it's one of those days. Please forgive me. And they
It's
had a
all
little
right.
bet, and they had a little bet on their side too of things. And then we
Yeah.
had the judges were Dakota and Emmett. At least I got those names right.
Yeah,
Dakota
yeah.
and Emmett were going to be the judges of this thing, and we see people trying to get people to be a vote for them, and it
Yeah.
didn't work.
Well, the first thing we see after they decide they're gonna have this competition to see who's gonna be the MC of the anniversary party is Bobby going to the kitchen to talk to Emmett. And she's like, "It smells great in here," and Emmett's like, "Must be the grease cleaner because he's cleaning off the stove with the grease cleaner." I thought that was pretty funny. And then Bobby proceeds to basically ask Emmett to vote for her, and Emmett's like, "Well, that's not fair.
Mhm.
That wouldn't be fair." And I forget what exactly he said, but then she goes at 2:03. Emmett's lost his mind, and then when she walks out, she goes 2:04. Emmett's I forget what she says,
I forget
but it was
either.
funny.
Don't
It
ask
was
me.
because Emmett was refusing to vote for Bobby just
Yeah.
because she's Bobby, and it needed to be a fair competition.
But I liked when he was
We
like 2:04. It's my break time.
It's my break time, yeah. So that was great. Um, and then we saw Bobby. It went to Bobby and Isabella next, right after the commercial break
Yeah, in their
in the office.
office.
Yeah, and Bobby has got jokes on cards and everything, and it, Gabby comes in and tells her that she's just made a bunch of people at the bar laugh and does this hysterical laugh that ends in a snort. That was pretty funny.
Hmm.
And that's when we find out Isabella was on the speech and debate team at her college,
Hmm.
and she's gonna help Bobby, which is
That was a fun.
amusing.
That was a funny scene because Bobby has cue cards, and she's
Yeah.
telling her, she's doing the joke, and she's looking down, and Gab and Isabella tells her, "Look up." And so when she looked up, she missed like the whole middle part and just got to the end and was like, "Ah!" And she's like, "You're missing part of the joke." She's like,
Yeah,
"What
she
part?"
said like
The
the first
middle.
line of the joke, skipped the middle, and said the punchline. So it made absolutely no sense. It was something about a monkey. I
Yeah.
I don't get it. But
None of us got it because it wasn't funny because we didn't hear the whole joke.
yeah. She also had bits in there about a hat. She was gonna have Emmett wear a hat and tell a bunch of hat jokes. And Isabella was like, "I'm not sure that's the best of ideas. Like, can you actually think Emmett's gonna put on this hat?" And Bobby's like, "Well, I'm gonna remove all my hat jokes."
And then can I get a refund on this hat?
Yeah, that was funny. Um, but Isabella basically is like gets all like intense and competitive because she used to do this at her college,
Mhm.
and uh, Bobby doesn't really know what she's getting in for. But
Mm-mm.
so Isabella is coaching Bobby in secret at this point. Nobody else knows Isabella is coaching Bobby.
Mhm.
And then we get Gabby going into the kitchen to talk to Dakota and basically asking Dakota to vote for her and sort of like guilt tripping him into like feeling that like he's done something to neglect their friendship, because she's like, we used to be solid as rock and now we're just not. But you know what'll make it better is if you vote for me, basically. And Dakota can't do that. Dakota doesn't like this competition. He doesn't like that it's tearing them apart when they should be coming together to celebrate this anniversary of the tavern.
Yeah, he don't like conflict. He never does.
No. And so Gabby says to Dakota, well, Bobby's never gonna know. And that's when Bobby appears at the window there. And that's when Gabby says to her, well, you've got Isabella's help, or you asked Emmett for his vote. And Bobby's like, how did you find that out? And Gabby goes, I didn't until right now when you just admitted it. Melissa Peterman was great in this episode.
Oh, I love her. I love her every episode. She's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
They work well off each other, her and Reba.
So Gabby finds out that Isabella is helping Bobby and starts listening in at the door to their coaching sessions, and goes and talks to Steve about it and this isn't fair, and then we find out that Steve used to help Happy with all his jokes for the roast, because the part of the anniversary party is a roast of the patrons of the bar, the regulars. And Steve gets all like proud of the fact that he used to help Happy, and Gabby convinces him to help her. And then he gets like taskmaster.
Had her repeating something over and over and over.
And then he's doing like higher, and she's like standing on her tippy toes, and then she's like lower, physically lower. So then she ducks down, and like, it was really funny.
Again, I love Steve.
And again, clapping his hands again. That was really funny. But Gabby got him to do this by telling him she's never won a competition before, and it's not because she's not competitive, but her mom says it's because she sucks. I hate Gabby's mom. I don't know if we're ever going to meet Gabby's mom as a character, but I absolutely hate Gabby's mom. It's always something.
But her and Steve had a connection because his dad was the same way, basically.
Yeah, because we have the point later where after there's well, let's get to the bet first between Isabella and Steve. Isabella and Steve are both really confident in Bobby and Gabby, and they're so confident that they decide to seal it with a bet. If Bobby wins, then Steve would have to make out with a dollar bill, which like you could just tell he was horrified about. He plays this germaphobe OCD character really, really well.
I like how she's like, put your money where your mouth is. And then he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, well, how much? And she goes, no, actually, put your money where your mouth is. You got to kiss a George Washington. She did all the...
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
And then Dakota is standing there and it's like, well, what happens if Gabby wins the competition? And that's when Steve says that Isabella cannot state that she went to college for an entire day.
Yeah, you can't mention it.
Because she
did mention, yeah, because she did mention, she's like, oh, I know, because I'm a psychologist, psychology major.
Yeah.
So he was like, you can't mention it for a day. He's like,
yeah. So that's the bet between Isabella and Steve. Then we get to the point where it's time to judge the competition. And Dakota wants nothing to do with this. He just he doesn't like this. He doesn't like how it's tearing everybody apart. And he basically asks Gabby and Bobby to have one of them drop out. And Gabby's like, no, I watched the late night shows and I think to myself, I could do that and I want to do that. So this is my chance. So Gabby's not dropping out and Bobby's not dropping out because it's her family and her dad that used to do this every year. And it's only fitting that the family tradition continues, basically.
Yep.
And so they both are not dropping out of the competition. And out comes Emmett. He's nursing a beer. Dakota goes, I think maybe you should keep this clear headed, don't you? And he goes, I thought about that. That was 3 beers ago. And Emmett sits down. He's got a notepad. He's ready.
Mhm,
And when he calls up Gabby to start doing her act, Dakota's like, I'm out. I
mhm,
can't do this. I can't judge this. So now we're down to Emmett is the only judge. And what
mhm,
is the one thing we've said about Emmett since we started the show? He's the wise one.
mhm,
He's the one that's going to make the right decisions and the
mhm.
rational and everything. And so he gets Gabby to do her whole routine. We see a little bit of it. Then we
He
hear
does
Bobby and his he doesn't laugh. He just
huffs.
that's
This
his
is
laugh.
like a little huff.
Yeah. So Bobby and Isabella are watching it, and Isabella's like trying to like pump her up and let her know that she's just as good as Gabby is. And
Mhm,
Bobby goes up to do her thing, and we don't really see Bobby's
mhm,
routine at all. And then we come back, and they're waiting for the announcement,
mhm.
and Emmett's got his notepad and he's writing all kinds of stuff down. And Steve and Isabella are going back and forth about who's going to have to do what with this bet. And
Yeah.
Dakota's just like sitting there, like, what has happened to my friends?
Uh-huh.
But Bobby, Gabby tells Bobby that it was a cheap trick forgetting the name of the bar.
Mhm,
And Bobby says, I didn't forget, I just froze. And then
uh-huh.
I couldn't think of the name, which is strange because it's my own father's name.
Father's name.
And then Bobby tells Gabby that the nicknames for all the staff were cheap as well.
Mhm,
And then Gabby says, I didn't give you one. And Bobby goes, well, you kind of did because you call me Red Thunder all the time.
mhm,
And they banter back and forth until Emmett's finally made up his mind. He tells Gabby she was really funny, and Steve starts celebrating.
uh-huh.
And then he says, but Bobby did really well too. And Isabella starts celebrating.
Uh-huh.
And then Emmett comes to the final decision, which is they should
They're
do it together.
they're funnier together.
Yeah, they're funnier together.
Mhm,
And I think that I always realized in this episode that this is where it was going to lead to, is them doing it together.
mhm.
But I liked the journey of getting to this point.
Yeah. The thing about the nicknames what happened at the beginning of the episode. The Red Thunder. And she goes, I always liked Red Thunder.
Yeah. And then Bobby calls Gabby Blonde Buzzard, I think.
On Buzzard. Just we'll work
It's,
on that.
we'll work on that. A little bit of work on that for Bobby.
Mhm.
But them emceeing this, I think I wish we would have gotten to have seen that because I think that would have been really fun.
Yeah, that would have been fun. But I enjoyed the episode. I always enjoy the episodes. They're all funny. They've all
Yeah.
got me hooked. And like I said, they were all work to the cast, the ensemble together all work for me, and I love it.
Yeah.
I've always said that. I said that from the beginning.
Yeah, I really enjoy this cast. I think they're really good together. Like
Mhm.
Steve's hysterical. Emmett is great. Uh, Dakota is just also a wise one, but in a different way from Emmett.
Yeah, yeah.
They all have very distinct personalities
Mhm.
and roles.
Yep,
No two characters on the show are alike, and I enjoy that.
yep. Me too.
But yeah, that was tonight's episode of Happy's Place. Uh,
Welcome
ha-
back. Happy New Year.
yeah, welcome back. Happy New Year. Uh, we'll be back to doing this every Friday night or week at least. Can't guarantee every Friday night.
I mean,
'Cause
we'll try our best.
we'll try our
Try our
best.
We'll
But there
try.
will be a weekend in March where I'm at your house. And we
Yeah,
will not be at your house. We will be at 90s Con. So we're gonna get this done some way, somehow.
you might
But
do it from the hotel at 90s Con. Who knows?
that would be really funny. But thank you everyone for joining us. Brandi, where can people find you?
Find me here doing these with you. I don't know which way.
I know
thing
you
goes.
never know which way to
Never
point
know.
on this thing.
With you, and doing couples therapy with Justin whenever we have a moment to do that, because we've been a little bit busy now that the holidays are gone. Slow. Everything might be slowing down. We get back to our routine. To find me, we do the Skeleton Crew, so I'm on that with you all. Whenever there's a show that we find interesting and we want to do reviews on, you'll usually find me on there. And then in the Discord, we have a Discord, which you can join by
Going to ko-fi.com/LGR_network. $3 a month gets you into our Discord. There's higher tiers if you want some more perks, including being on an episode of the post credits. So if you would like to join us to talk about Happy's Place and why you love it or whatever, join the Discord and the Ko-fi page, and you can do that.
You can join us on one of these. We'll also, are we doing it, Adelia? We do. The award shows are going to be coming up again, so we do
Yes.
our fashion reviews.
What on earth are they wearing?
What on
We'll
earth
be
are they wearing?
returning.
Yes, because the award shows are coming about. We just remembered that the Golden Globes are happening.
The Golden
So
Globes are this weekend, apparently. I didn't know that, so we'll have to figure that out.
we'll be back doing that for the award season. And yeah, I'm around.
Well, you can also find me over on the LGRN Sports channel, doing Starting 11 with Snark. That's our English Premier League recap show. That's usually Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific live. We'll have an episode this coming week, and then we're taking a week off because of the fact that there's no Premier League matches. There's FA Cup matches. Like it blows some people's minds that like teams compete in more than one competition over in the European soccer world. So we'll be off on the Premier League that week, but we'll be back 5 p.m. Pacific on Tuesdays. And then also this upcoming week, we are back with the Rewatchers Council. Our Buffy rewatch series continues. We're up to season 3, episode 10 or 11. I'm not sure which. Gingerbread. We'll be watching that. Me and Snark will be on the review this Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific. We'll see if Ferris tags along. I somehow doubt it.
One day I will be on it.
Yep, we're gonna have to figure out which episodes Brandi is going to join us for, because that'll be fun.
I
But
do that.
season 3 of Buffy is my favorite season that I have watched, because I haven't watched all of it yet. I've only watched to like halfway through season 5, because that's when I moved and I no longer got the channel that Buffy was on.
Was that when they moved to UPN?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that channel.
So
now, if this was a Buffy, if this was a Dawson's Creek rewatch, I'd be on it every week.
I mean, we can arrange for that, Brandi. I'd rewatch Dawson's Creek, so
I love Dawson's Creek.
we'll talk about it. But until next time, everybody, we are out of here. See ya.
Happy New Year.